about him today. He's a great friend of mine, very talented person. I mean, one of the most talented person that I've ever met in Australia and in life in general, because style and outfits and stuff, it's something that comes with my family as well, but I want to talk about it.
I'm excited to hear that.
During the podcast. It will be very exciting to tell you the story. And yeah, I'm excited for this. Guys, I ask your support. This is your first episode. We will bring so many people to this podcast. I think the goal for High Social is to really bring the talents, bring the mindset, bring the masterminds, bring the expertise, the experiences, the advice, the motivation that many of you look for. I really want to promote entrepreneurship. I want to promote self-development, education. I want to bring news to you guys, what's out there, and like the type of conversation that you would see on a podcast. But me, with High Social, I don't want to focus too much on a big picture people like Bhav, for example. Bhav is a good example because he is young. He started joining very young, and it's going to be really interesting to know from him. But I also want to bring people that are behind the curtain, people that run businesses, run even 6-7 digit businesses, like $1 million businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses, and bring that experience to you, and so you have something solid to learn from and inspire. All right, Bhav. So do you wanna introduce yourself?
All right, so my name is Bhavninder Sanghera, but everyone calls me Babs because it's easier. So I'm in the fashion industry, so I'm a fashion stylist, personal stylist, and virtual stylist. So if you're in Sydney, you can hire me as your personal stylist, or if you're anywhere else in the world, I can do virtual styling for you. So I do that on FaceTime or Zoom, depends on whatever you use, what device you use. But I prefer personal styling because I like to be there in person with my clients. It feels more personal that way, and it's much easier for me to give my advice and all that if it's in person. I'm also a fashion designer, so I started doing my own fashion brand last year. I learned it all myself. I didn't go to school for it. I just learned it through YouTube. So I design the clothes, but I don't actually make them. So I have a manufacturing company in China that does that for me, but I design everything myself. I do all the marketing myself. I do all the social media myself. And yeah, I really love it. And I'm also about to start a new job with Burberry as a stylist. So I'm going to be an in-store stylist for Burberry next week. So that's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah,
with Burberry.
With Burberry.
So which one? Which store?
So it's on the George Street.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a pretty new store. It just started recently. So yeah.
Oh yeah, they have the signs on the facade,
yeah,
right?
It's right next to Wynyard Station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you come in store, you can get styled by me for free.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You see, guys, you're lucky. Awesome.
Yes, I'm also a fashion influencer on Instagram at bav.xo. So I've been doing that for like a while now. I started like 3 years ago, and I would just post every day like my outfits. And when I started, people weren't like, they were like, oh, why are you posting this all the time? And then look at where I am today. So, you just have to believe in yourself and do what you're passionate about. So that's what I believe in. And yeah, that's about me.
Amazing, man. Like I'm happy for you. Like, how old are you? So they know your age.
Yeah, so I'm 22 years old.
22 years old, and you've already started your online business. Pretty good with your social media. You have some amazing content. I would suggest you guys to follow him and see his content by yourself. I mean, I love fashion because I come from a family. So my dad, he's actually a Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
You heard this before?
Yeah,
I told you, right?
You told me.
Yeah. Okay, so he makes his own clothes, and he has like a whole closet. But not only that, my cousin, so she was married to an Egyptian guy. He was like a prince type of thing, because the guy is important, and she's all about fashion as well. And when you say, oh, people started looking at my social media and they were like, why are you posting the same thing? When you say stuff like that, it kind of remind me about her, because when she was wearing all those clothes, nobody could understand. So imagine like here in Australia, I would say, because I lived in London and been through Europe, and I feel like Europe, it's kind of like a different mindset. People are more like welcoming to that sort of sort of stuff. Yeah. US, not so much. Australia is, but not as good as in Europe. Brazil is like zero.
Yeah.
Imagine like you wearing like your creation, and people would look at you and then like they would make fun of you because it's not a thing that we do. We follow more like the trend, but whenever we see someone that is like too different, it kind of impact us a lot. But if you're in Europe, you just want more because so many people, right?
Yeah.
You've been to Europe recently, didn't you?
Yeah, so I just went to Europe in September, and I've been to Europe before, but this is my second time there. And the mindset towards fashion, towards looking after yourself to make sure you look good is just so different to Australia. So Australia is more relaxed and laid back, so people just wear shirt and shorts and then like white sneakers or something, or flip-flops. Because there's like a lot of beaches here and it's very summery. But in like Paris where I went, it's just amazing. Every single person looks like they just walked off a runway or something, you know? And like people would come up to me and they thought I was French. They started speaking to me in French because they just looked at me and like they looked at my style and they just assumed I was French. But when I told them I was like, I'm from Australia, they couldn't believe it. Yeah, so that's something I don't like about Australia. It's just the fashion here. It's not very developed yet, but it's getting there. There's like, it's on the rise. You see people on the street and it's very like, it's interesting to see like some people like, because fashion, it's about expressing yourself. And that's what I love about it. So that's why I don't like when people try to conform in other ways, like they just dress the same as other people. I feel like you should take the time out of your day in the morning to dress well and, you know, try to look good. That's why I try to tell my clients whenever I'm styling them, like you should take at least an hour to get ready and think about what you're going to wear for that day.
Yeah, because I feel like appearance is very important, right? You want to leave a good impression.
Yeah, exactly.
If you like going to school, you know, you want to look cool, so you're more welcoming to new people that you want to meet, and you want to leave a good impression to your professor, to whatever people. But when you're going out, I don't know what are your intentions, but like if you're looking for a partner or like to make new friends, like even like, you know, get laid or whatever, you want to look nice. Girls, they want to impress men, so they want to dress nice.
Exactly.
If you're going to a business meeting, for example, you want to be dressing nice because the business, the deal will depend on how people feel about you, and your appearance has like a huge impact on what the perception that people has.
Exactly. So like the first impression is always like the most lasting impression of someone. And if you're dressed well, then people just think about you differently. Like every time I go somewhere and someone comes up to me, like almost the first thing they would say is my style is really good, and they just compliment my style. It's like everywhere I go, people are complimenting my style, and it just, like the way people think about you just changes. The perception of who you are, it changes, and then people like start making assumptions about you. They're like, oh, are you this? Are you that? And then I tell them what I am, and they're like, oh, of course you're a stylist. I could tell, yeah. And it's just, I've actually gotten clients that way before. So just dressing well and then telling people who I am, I've gotten clients like that. So it's really, if you want to dress, like if you want to be successful, you should dress well. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Awesome. I agree. I 100% agree with you. And I'm on the way, yeah? I'm on the way.
Yeah.
Like Bhav always like, last time I went shopping, right? I like his service because he really like, when you need him, you know, like obviously he's a busy person, but like you don't want to be bothering him too much out of what you guys have planned. But like the day that I needed you, the day that I most needed you, he answered the phone straight away, FaceTime, and he make you go through the whole store, right? Through the whole store, all the clothes. He's like FaceTiming you, you're changing your clothes, and like he sees the results. He pays attention to detail, like the vision that you have for it. Like you say things that I would never think about, and I think that's like it's someone that is passionate about it. It's someone that puts that mind and their heart in a skill like that, and it's not easy. People think like, oh, you just like you said, like, oh, you just go on YouTube, oh, you just check the colors, blah blah blah, this and that. But no, like the way he feels about an outfit, it's like it's a complex combination of thoughts, and that is gonna, you know, he's gonna use his intelligence to come with something genius, something brilliant, you know.